Welcome back to part 2 of the rant. It's your email time, and it's a time. Look, the emails, we learn a lot off them, and we really enjoy them. And remember, we might be racing rant, but you know, we're the old punish show, and we all like sharing each other's views. And I love going to my inbox to read your messages, and I learn a lot off them. Guys, last night, anyone catch The Voice? Did you catch The Voice? It's the grand final, guys.
Oh,
should be.
Move the TV from the wall.
It should be renamed the. Oh.
All right, so
the overweight body, like two 20-year-olds, like both 200 kilos, blokes,
okay.
like
so,
massive.
Hang on.
It's the pity
Give us some
vote gets you
background.
through.
Look, I know The Voice is a talent show on TV.
Yeah.
That's all I know.
Well, it was 4 grand. There was 2 gorgeous girls, and there was 2 blokes at 150 kilos that were 20 and 18, and they were the Quinella. Honestly, get them on the next show.
Yeah, but
how not to eat when you've been on The Voice? What's wrong with young people?
But hang on. All that weight gives you, helps your voice, doesn't it? Helps you, like all the great singers have been like.
But reality TV, the pity vote helps.
Wouldn't you be voting for the glamours?
Yeah,
Don't you vote for the glamours?
You do. Society out there's going, oh, look at the big fella doing his best. You know, we'll vote for him.
I'm there going, fucking, I'm screaming at him, eat a Ribena, you fat fuck. Their parents should be in jail.
Okay, so the empathy
I have no empathy.
Goes a long way. Well, people, no, but okay. So the masses, they're going, I identify with that person. I don't identify with the glamour. Oh, fuck them. They're already.
That's what I was thinking.
Tall poppy syndrome. A little bit of that.
Walk up start. They don't need money.
Well, yeah.
Anyway, obesity is the lowest thing. It's just terrible. So it's just not that hard to have.
Hey, we're working on it, Glenn. We're getting there, mate.
Me? Yeah.
Well, we've got a little bit of a paunch.
Yeah, but I'm 55. I'm 55 and just can't train anymore.
Glad you've got all the theories in life worked out, which is why you're retiring from life soon.
Very soon. You can't be 20 and 200 kilos.
Okay, so how does it happen? What's going on here? What's gone wrong?
Well, you take your kids to McDonald's 4 times a day on school holidays. You don't need proper food. They sit in front of computers. They watch TV. No kids play sport. Everything's wrong with this country. Get out there and get on your bike.
Kids don't let them to the park to kick around and exercise.
You never see a kid ride a bike anymore. Why? Because the government told you got to put a helmet on.
Yeah.
No, it's more than that. The parents are worried that the kid might get hit by a car. They just live in fear all the time. It's definitely the parents'
natural
fault.
selection. I've brought that up before on the other show.
Okay, all right, but what about the fact that is the way of the world now? So how do we address this issue, like with the Glenn Pollitt style, given the way the world's gone? Because you just can't reverse. You can't reverse back to the 50s, right? It's not going to work. So give us some insight.
I don't know. I just can't.
No, I
can't look at a 20-year-old singing a song with 5 litres of sweat pissing out of his head, like. It just does my head in. He's 20 years of age.
But we're not going to go back to the 50s. What's going to happen is we'll start drugging the kids. They'll be on diet pills like Michelle Payne.
It's Brave New World.
Yeah.
Poor Michelle.
Michelle Payne got a front page last week.
A front page? She's on every front page. Like, she's just so...
Well, that's what happens if you're a Melbourne Cup queen. So what did she do?
She took a diuretic or something to control her weight because her weight's got a bit out of order because of that massive injury she had.
So any other sportsman on diuretic is masking, but jockeys are actually...
I did hear she put on a bit of weight because she lost half a pancreas from that.
I do actually think when Shane Warne took the diuretic or the skinny pill, it was to lose weight because he's quite vain, isn't he? I don't think he was masking. I think he was trying to lose weight for his hot young girl.
Check out The Voice. You know, it's still okay to watch The Voice. You get to look at Delta a bit. She's all right to look at, but she's also a punish with that smile.
What? You've got like 100 channels and you stick The Voice on, like voluntarily.
I watched the last 10 minutes.
Okay.
I still wanted to see who won, and all of a sudden there was 2 blokes that took up the whole screen, and a little tiny Delta in the middle.
So
I'm talking about.
You're like the person that's actually interested in the replay of the feature race on the television news. You know, the last 200.
Yeah, well, the rest is unwatchable. Yeah. You know Seal's sticking at the Delta, so straight away you're offside with Seal. And then Boy George...
Geez, for a bloke with a head like that, he does well, doesn't he?
Oh, it's cash. It's just... And he's a hot dancer. Chicks love hot dancers.
Yeah.
And he's got a good body.
Yeah.
He's not gone, like you and me.
So there's your tip, Glenn, is
to young blokes?
Young blokes.
Train and dance. Dance boys get a stack of chicks.
Oh, why don't you tell the story, Mark?
Because
When Mark became a single man, he took up what kind of dancing?
Latin dancing.
Latin dancing.
Really?
I won a Mambo competition.
No way. Bullshit. Is it really?
It was people's choice.
Was it a social thing to do, was it?
Yeah, it's like if you're single, well then you join a tennis club and you go dancing and you do all these things that other people do.
Oh, to become hooked up
To
and
get
then become
amongst it.
miserable.
No, and things that might be appealing to the
That's so
opposite sex
funny.
as well.
It's
So yours
amazing
was
how-
dancing, tennis, and playing the guitar.
Yeah.
You just went the whole. I'm surprised you didn't get a motorbike.
But isn't it amazing how single people do so much more for themselves?
Yeah. Every mate who breaks up with his missus, he's at the gym next week, getting his single body again.
Wow. So you got to try. So what? Taking a girl just say, "Listen, love, do you want to come to the dogs tonight?" It's not really
For a hot dog.
sensational.
Are the baked
mate.
potatoes still at the dog?
No, that's all finished.
Oh.
All those great things are finished. Anyway, let's get on with these emails, guys.
Yeah, Ian wrote, "Hi guys, great show with Richie Irvine. If the powers to be, the powers that be, could only think 20 years ahead. 20 years ago, there was only bookies and no Betfair, which is now the biggest trading platform in the world. And the figures I see every day, I would think biggest in Australia. The UK and Europe have Betfair, BetDac, Matchbook, all trading companies operating on racing and sport. So looking 20 years ahead, why aren't our administrators looking to run our own Australian trading platform? On all sports in the last 20 years, we've gone from bookies, tickets to computers. So where to in the future? Just don't sit on your ass. Try to be innovative, and with quantum computing going to happen in the next 20 years, it will be mind-blowing. So get on the bandwagon or be dead as a sport. Technology is the way to go, as all the youth know it and live by it. And as far as people getting back to the track other than big carnivals, it's over. Move with the times. P.S. Like Glenn, I will be dead."
In 20 years, yeah, I understand that.
Now that is a very good point, because Racing New South Wales is or Racing Australia is so well set up to run their own exchange.
They sure are. They sure
Now,
are.
they made the mistake that they let someone else have first go, but they've got
Gee, we're popular today.
they've got the muscle.
Yeah, they have got the muscle. I think they've got the finances, and let's face it, it's like putting together a calculator, and it's just not that hard a program to work out.
No.
People put their cash in, and like I've said the whole time along, they're not odds. It's people meeting to match bets.
Yeah.
It's a
The difficulty the racing industry has got to get over is that they can't understand that the opposite position is.
No, but the
just
whole
another bet.
world is short term. That's all they care about. What people think about us now. You look at politics, it's about the 24-hour news cycle. You look at big business. They'll make decisions that might be bad for the company in 10 years' time because the spreadsheets look better now, so they get bigger bonuses and everybody's
racing
happy.
Administrators don't have to worry about that.
Yes, well, I'm saying that look at what they've done. So they've upped the comms. So that's instant gratification, or what they perceive to be instant gratification. For them to announce that they were going to set up a trading platform that might be good in start making money in 5 years' time, that's too far down the track. So they're not interested in doing it.
So they want the instant hit.
Yeah.
Glenn, what happened to the Betfair pools on Saturday with on Rose Hill with the extra com?
I watched them all, and obviously they weren't super down. I don't think. I think the liquidity was still there, but what will happen? This process of this extra money being dragged out, it will take a period of adjustment time.
So you
Definitely
say,
6-12 months.
So the same meeting in a month's time would be lower.
I think so, but in 6 months I think it'll be heaps lower. But at the moment I don't think. At the moment I didn't notice much.
Yeah, it didn't seem obvious to me, and there was an email about that later on. Dave writes, "Hi fellas, you were discussing wet tracks and how to bet on them in the last edition of the RANT. I have a theory that there's two totally different types of wet tracks, even on the same track. Heavy 9 at Randwick when it's raining on the day, 2 weeks later it'll still be a heavy 9 when it hasn't rained for a week or 10 days. In the first type of track, rain on day of races, the track is sloppy and horses who aren't wet trackers do not feel safe. They usually have a longer stride and won't use it because it's slippery and sloppy. On this type of track, you need an absolute wet tracker. On the other hand, when it hasn't rained for 10 days, the ground is bottomless but not sloppy. It's more akin to gluey. Horses have trouble pulling their feet out of the thick mud. So whilst it's still a heavy 9, you can't give it any other rating. It isn't actually water, just mud. Therefore, horses' fitness is as important, if not more important, than being a wet tracker. Horses will feel confident in it, even some non-wet trackers, because they don't feel like they're slipping. Maybe a different type of wet tracker. Just a theory I'm thinking about the last few months is too many wet trackers are failing on these gluey tracks at Eagle Farm and Randwick.
I think that's
it's an unbelievable good
That
email.
is awesome email, and that's
And
great
I completely
information.
agree with him. I completely agree with him.
Yeah,
It's another diverse angle to doing the form.
yeah. So you've got the rain on the day, a raining wet track versus a sunny wet track.
Well, you know, we've always been fitting those two variables, the one with the wet track form and the one with fitness, and that gives another little nice angle to it.
Loved reading that email when I read it at home the other day, because I get these emails first. And
this is the first time I've seen them, by the way.
Oh,
That's
okay.
why I'm
I
always
read them all the
reading
time.
here.
Yeah, thank you, Dave. That's great insight. And Dean, is it Dean?
And Glenn.
Dean, he said, and Glenn. Two Asians, we all look the same. We all do look the same.
We do all the same.
As in all grey hair, all blonde, and so on.
Oh, okay.
After a while, you can tell apart, same as in Hong Kong. After a while, you can tell more and more apart.
Oh, so you get better at it?
Yeah.
I'm sure you do. I say there's a bit of... People think I'm racist, and of course I'm not. I'm fucking not. I hate everybody.
Hi, Mark. Just wanted this is Tim from Centrebet. Remember we had him on the show?
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
Just wanted to be in touch to clarify an issue you mentioned around Centrebet. That was last week on the show with Richie. That is, when you back a horse at a lower price to your minimum limit and want to come again at a shorter or longer price, you're unable to get another bet on. And we made mention of the fact that it's how ridiculous is this. You've backed it to win 5 because they let you on to win 5.
You can't back it again.
And they push the price out.
Yep.
So you've taken the wrong price. But anyway,
You load it back in?
I'll load up again. Can't back it again. Because they won't let you. Anyway, he says, unfortunately, this is a limitation with our operating platform rather than a trading decision. We're looking to have this changed as soon as we can, but it's a very significant piece of IT work, so we're not able to provide a timeline at this point. I trust you, Glenn and Gordo, are well and continue with the new office. We all continue to enjoy your shows each week. Regards, Tim. Thank you.
Good on you, Tim. It's a nice email, but...
But it's also good to know that I was thinking, oh, bloody Centrebet, that they're so taking the piss there. You know, that they've made this big song and dance about we'll let you on win 5, but it's only once.
Yeah.
Whereas...
Well, Tim's kind of explained it there, but I still don't understand how it would take a long time to fix it.
I'll tell you right now, Centrebet are offering more than the others, because when I bet to win the max with the others and the price changes and I try and back it again, they won't let me on. So Centrebet are a point of difference there. They've not fixed it yet, but if they do...
2.5 times the others, aren't they?
Yeah. They're already 2.5 times the others, and they're looking to actually solve that problem as well, while the others aren't.
Can anyone out there beat Centrebet? Because I tell you what, maybe there's betting the horses that are our Achilles heel type horses. You know how you've got a set of horses that are
what do you mean?
tickets?
You can't beat them. Well, you're losing to them, you're saying?
All the time.
Yep.
Good on them.
And a lot of guys are.
Yeah.
Well,
So
good on Centrebet.
good on them.
I like hearing... I don't mind the corporates winning if it's through opinion. I love it.
Daniel Palini, good friend of the show, and in our he's in our Lope de Vega that's hopefully be named shortly.
Great.
With Chris Lees, and I did have to concur with this email. Last Thursday, Josh Adams ride on our girl Holly. Hook job or just plain poor ride, or am I talking through my kick? Thoughts?
No, I can't agree with either of you there. The problem with that race was, okay, Josh, boom, they're racing and he's missed a kick a little bit. Horses can miss kicks.
Yep.
Right. But what happened, we've got Bacasia, who was under a huge amount of instructions by the owners or who are the connections to make sure you find cover, jumps clearly in front, and for 700 metres we've got the duck Paul King pulling the horse back, allowing Glyn to get across, which Glyn should never have got across, and then next thing, what happens if Bacasia is in its right racing pattern there, it holds the lead, blah, blah, blah. Our girl Holly is closer with better tempo and wins by 2 lengths. It was more a case of Paul King's not going to plan B. He got a gobful off me, and then he gave me the middle finger.
Ooh.
Gave me the middle finger, the old duck.
That is the thing. That is the thing about racing. It's a dynamic
What's so
organism.
dynamic about it is his poor options and not going with plan B meant that the wrong horse won the race.
Yeah, but it happens all the time.
Yeah.
Happens a lot. It's racing. So look, I think I don't think you're talking through your kick. It was particularly ugly to watch from Josh, but it wasn't really Josh's fault. It's the way the race panned out.
That horse should have won the race, but Josh Adams actually is riding well at the moment.
He's riding well, and it was circumstances. How Glenn, and I'm giving the duck a gobful, and Glenn goes, "Oh, why didn't you back your favourite jockey, Glenn?" Oh, fuck off, Glenn. I said, "Fucking." I'm the only person standing there at wine. It's freezing. They're all laughing at me. Oh, they're all such good blokes, jockeys.
So, if the wrong horse won the race, why did it start favourite?
I don't know why it started favourite, but I'm telling you the wrong horse won the race. Our girl Holly should have been favourite and should have won, and Bacasia should have been in the finish.
I looked at the race and I got to Our Girl Holly and I went, yes, yes, yes. And then I started, thinking about the race it was coming out of and just going, oh.
It should have won mine.
I know it should have won.
Yeah.
And it was more because of Paul King's average ride, and I he was under instructions, so. But he's not a kid, if you jump in front and you've got a lap full, you shouldn't spend 700 metres grabbing a horse to find a position fourth.
Yeah, but you're even entitled not even to have to think about what's happening with Bacasia. Shit happens in races.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you what, talk about getting it wrong and making money out of it. I looked at that race and thought, oh, I'm against Our Girl Holly, so what am I going to find? I ended up finding the winner, but I shouldn't have won the race. So I made a mistake and came out all right.
Yeah, you still backed the horse that was in the finish. That's not really making a mistake. Nigel wrote, hi Mark, I noted on Friday's previous show, Glenn commented there hadn't been an interesting Jockey's Premiership for 20 years.
No, I didn't say that. I said I haven't been interested in Jockey's Premiership for 20 years.
That's a clarification, but I mean...
But I remember the Huey one. It was interesting. This one I'm more interested because it's gun.
I don't know if you guys recall the 2013 Jockey's Premiership finish, but Nash gave Huey a start of 14 or 15 winners just in July and proceeded to ride 23 winners to get up by 3. Rawilla rode by it like a man possessed, riding 4 winners on at least 3 occasions. And I recall the only form you needed to do at the time was to look at what he was riding.
I remember that too, Nigel. And he did ride like a man possessed. Everything about that email's right, except I'm just finding this one because I'm cheering gun.
But it's a beauty, isn't it? July is such a down time, and yet if you get a close finish in the Jockey's Premiership, it's alive.
It also proves your confidence in your betting. Are you going to have something on fucking Rustic Melody 6 months ago with that lead up form? Nah. And then I Saturday with Huey Bum and you go, oh, hang on, I might throw something on this.
Yeah, yeah.
And that's what I did.
He's going to throw everything at it.
I had 2,080, like with Sandro, $26. It's a horse I could have easily been like slack and not back. But I saw Huey and I went, here I am saying Rustic Melody never win another race, but it's $26, I'll have 2,080. And I know it's an embarrassing tiny bet, but it's still filled all right at 100.
And Dave writes in relation to this current Jockey's Premiership. Hi fellas, I wrote to you last week where he went Avadala and how I thought he lacked the aggression that's been his trademark since day one. I've since found out that he badly injured his leg/ankle in an early race, I think it was race 1 last week, and probably would not have ridden last week if the title was not at stake. Now I watched him in a few races yesterday, noticed he wasn't riding hands and heels, mostly heels, like he usually does in any of the races. In fact, his heels hardly moved. Then I have a close-up of his heels when he finished second on Surplus, and I could not see spurs. Now, spurs are usually the same colour as their boots, obvious camouflage, and can be hard to see on a TV, so I could be wrong. Could Glenn tell me if he noticed that Brenton was wearing spurs yesterday?
Yeah, he still puts the spurs on his boots. I watched him walk in the car park there. He doesn't need to be walking with a limp. So, is this more racecourse rumour?
Geez, now you're stalking them, Glenn. You're doing the mounting yard mail on the jockeys.
I promise you. The last thing I do is stalk jockeys. Stalk jockeys.
Spurs are an integral
wouldn't have a drink with any of them except the gun. Well, they're all just... No, let's not talk about jockeys.
Spurs are an integral part of some jockeys' results, and BF Dullah is high on that list. Working from home has its advantages, that is, you can cover all meetings with ease, but being on course also has its advantages. That is, small details that explain the inexplicable. Your show is one of a punter's main assets, info you just can't get anywhere else. Vigilance can be a key to success or failure in punting. The devil is in the detail. Thanks, Dave. So you didn't notice?
I didn't notice Gun limping. I haven't heard anything about him with a sore leg. He still puts spurs on, and I still...
All the time, or?
I still think he's riding okay. I think this is our imagination that he's got the yips.
Sorry, does B. Abdullah wear spurs all the time?
Not all the time, but when they get down in the weight, sometimes they leave the spurs off because they're trying to keep their weight down.
Yeah.
But they don't wear them all the time. And also, like, sometimes they don't wear them on 2-year-olds. Some blokes don't want to wear them on young fillies. There's all different reasons to it. But it is a big tick of intention when they're on. That's the way I look at them.
It sure is. It sure is. And I would like to know. And I suppose the only way you can be assured of knowing is by actually being there.
Well, the spurs used to be silver, so you used to be able to see them on TV. But now a lot of the boys wear black spurs.
Yeah, on the blackbirds.
On the blackbirds, you can't see them.
And
they're hard for me.
Sitting across the bad black saddlecloth.
They're hard for me to see when I'm here to there. You can't see them on the TV, the black spurs.
Hi boys, I'm a regular of Glenn's Mounting Yard Mail. Decided to get the combo set last Saturday with Melbourne from Dicko. Both had pretty solid sets, but massive shout out for Dicko with Nesbo saluting. Took
Well done,
50s
Dicko.
with Crown Bet. Also had the Quinella a couple of times. Not a big putter, but managed to get a bank for the trip to the upcoming Grafton Carnival. I saw with interest one to follow. I've shit canned their regular tipsters. All I can say, boys, is you're probably much better off out of there and hope the court case goes your way. Does Glenn have any pearls for punting at Grafton? That is the track bias, etc. Once again, huge fan of the show. Keep up the good work, Pete. But firstly, Dicko, big shout out. He found Nesbo. He said, I think he was backing 3 horses in the race. One of them was 50s and it won.
Great work by
Fantastic
Dicko there.
work.
And yeah, fantastic work. As far as Grafton, any tips for Grafton?
There used to be noise in the track. Does that still?
It's a pretty fair track these last 10 years. Very fair, and I used to go all the time. I haven't been going too much lately.
I'll say I'm very cautious betting there non-carnival time, but I'm happy to bet during the carnival.
Oh, non-carnival time, you cannot bet there.
Yes.
It's like Pirates of Penzance.
You just say it straight. I just hint at it and you just like...
You cannot bet there. All them areas up there, you cannot. Well, you can have a bet there.
Yeah.
And you might back a winner.
Yeah.
Unless you're on something in the market and it's a girl riding it. Maybe that's a tip for you. There you go.
Here we go. David Jones, who commented on our YouTube channel, he said, thanks for the mention, fellas. This is last week. And to Mr. Hoodie, yep, I've knocked the top off more than once, thank fuck. It was a whole lot quicker than the time time taken to watch your verbal diarrhea. Enjoy the piss take at my expense. I won't be watching.
Oh, what's happened?
What was the original comment?
Glenn never had a wank in his life.
Yeah, but what was David Jones? Like, what was that in response to?
He was writing us off last week, wasn't he?
Oh,
what? Enjoy the piss. Oh, good on you, David Jones. Fucking, I don't know. Go get a job at Grace Brothers. Let's move on.
Sean Byrne.
It's not even Grace Brothers anymore, is it?
no, it's Maya.
Shows you how fucked I am.
Sean Byrne kindly responded to my mention of him in last week's Richie Irvine show, and he wanted to talk about the GST on gambling. It was we confused things. I think Richie basically said that GST applied to bookies' gross revenue. The gross revenue?
When Richie was talking about it, I just was thinking about something else.
Anyway, so there is a GST component to the bookies' gross revenue. So at the end of the month, the bookies say, we've turned over X and here's our gross profit. Sorry, it's gross profit. And that is subject to GST, which doesn't mean anything to punters at all.
I'm still not listening.
Anyway, so I'll just
to be honest, I'm just so happy that people like you and Richard are willing to put the work in to help us out. But other than that,
Don't want to listen.
yeah, it just
Anyway,
comes. Yeah.
Look, I'll just read out what he says. With respect to the comment regarding my view on in-play, and look, we're all interested in in-play, right?
Yeah.
GST is collected on player losses, correct. That forms part of the GST pool. There is conjecture about how gambling is treated in the equalisation method of distribution, but that's a different discussion. The interactive gambling legislation is federal. Sports betting is about 1% of all gambling taxes, which is an infinitesimal share of total taxes. To allow online in-play would require federal legislation change. If we consider the upside to taxation revenue, it would take a very brave government to expand gambling for a relatively minimal tax revenue measured against general public sentiment. That's not to say it shouldn't be lobbied for. I wish it would happen. I would be very happy to be proved wrong. So basically, it's not in the interest of government to allow in-play betting in Australia. They're not getting any bang for their buck.
Okay.
Okay.
So that's why we're stuffed.
All right.
as far as in-play betting is concerned. And I don't know, maybe it is as simple as using an indirect route.
Okay.
Your favourite jockey, Glinda. We spoke about this on Wednesday. Gordon and I did a previous show on Wednesday, and Glinda wrote, "Pick of my mounts tomorrow, clearly star of monsoon. It's a nonny, I'm a nonny, made for each other. Toey all ready for tomorrow."
That's
Quite funny.
And then
I backed the bloody odds.
Glinda wrote back, "Even my silky hands couldn't help."
Oh, well, look at this old red. Yeah, anyway, go on.
Yeah. So while we were doing the previous show last Tuesday, I tweeted just getting ready to do the previous show.
That's so funny.
This is what I tweeted. Some of you may have seen.
God, last season.
12G is a very good
so
man.
funny.
He said, "Good, last sighted on the old 100."
Gee, that's funny.
Those grey nurses.
Oh, they were just the best, those grey nurses. I used to have a million of them once.
Yeah.
I wish I did.
They were a nice note, weren't they?
Oh, beautiful,
yeah.
So we'll finish the rant on that note and say that Gordon and I will be back for a preview show tomorrow for Canterbury.
Yep.
And
just a shout out to the Aglitas family as well. Arno Aglitas passed away. Used to be a bagman out the track.
yeah, he was Robbie Williams' bagman. Remember Robbie Williams' bagman?
I should.
Big Arno.
Yeah.
I vaguely do, yeah.
Had a lot to do with helping me become a 5-year-old gambler. So thank you,
And he
Arno.
passed away, did he? With just old age?
Yeah, just on Friday. Yeah.
Old or?
Oh,
Mid-70s.
mid-70s. Yeah.
It's not too bad innings, so best wishes to him and his family.
Yeah.
Okay, well, thanks for watching the rant. There'll be no preview for Saturday's show on Friday. We're back in court or doing something, or
School holidays, Glenn.
school holidays, I knew it was something. The boys will see you Tuesday, and we'll all be back here next Monday. Enjoy your punting week, guys.
See you guys.
Thank you.